This is part 2 of 3 with Tywan Shanklin of the Wesley House. I said, how can we help? And he's going to share how we can help. We can be a blessing, y'all. And they do so much. But enjoy the rest of our conversation. They do a lot, and we can help.
We do. Or how can, let me tell you something that Healthy Heart's trying to do. It may
Yes,
not
ma'am.
be much. We're trying to be a blessing to a nonprofit every quarter, believing that even if it's the 2 loaves and 5 fish or whatever, and you lift it
Yeah.
up, he'll bring. So that's what. So we need to talk, because that's a nonprofit, isn't it? Which
Yes, ma'am.
was wow.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what are your operation hours? Do people, can they just come in, or do you make an appointment? Or if folks want to hear more, because I saw where you got something that's called, which we need, Youth Bridge Academy.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the ages for that, and what happens with that?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So it's Youth Brigade Academy.
Oh, Brigade. Okay.
Yes. No, you're fine. So yes, ma'am. So that's for ages. So it's school ages. So kindergarten to 5th grade. And we would love to take on our middle schools as well. But we realize, we have to take our time with that. We experienced last summer. You mentioned summer camp earlier. We did summer camp last year, and it was from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. And so we found it very challenging to keep our middle schoolers entertained and, engaged. And so we want to make sure that when we take them on, we have the capacity and the manpower to make sure that we are keeping them engaged as well. But Youth Brigade Academy, that's our school age program. So essentially what it is we try to make sure that we are open and available to our children after school. So we're actually going to be opening that back up September, I want to say September 4th or 5th. So we make sure that we're open from Monday through Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m., providing them with a meal, providing them with homework assistance, and providing them with reading assistance. So something we learned, Ms. Cha-Cha, is that through the pandemic, there was a few, I don't want to say generation, I want to say there was just a pool of students or children who missed out on the opportunity to really get those literacy skills that are very important and foundational for any person. And so we really try to focus on the Black and Brown Indigenous people in our area. Not to say that we don't allow folks who are Caucasian, whatever it may be, but we realize that there's a bigger need for those individuals. And so, when we are bringing these kids in, we realize that we have 3rd graders that aren't, reading on a 3rd grade level, can't even really write their name, can't even, read us, books that we would think would be, pretty simple. And so, for us, we took on that challenge, and we also realized like, hey, we need to tap into some additional resources to make sure that we can get these children the additional help that they need. So we've been partnering with, JCPS, we've been partnering with Metro United Way to ensure that we're getting that additional support to make sure that these kids can get back on track to where they need to be. So that is our Youth Brigade Academy in a nutshell. We also make sure that we're open. So as I just mentioned, we had our summer camp. So we did that for 8 weeks, where they arrived from 8 and left at 4, sometimes a little bit later than that. But nothing but great and fun activities led by our youth program coordinator, Barbara Carney Perks. She has a real strong passion for the kids. She loves on them as if they're her own. So, just making sure that we're providing a place for the kids to go while school isn't in session, while mom and dad are at work, because we realize that some kids are being left at home by themselves. So, we want to make sure that they are not given the opportunity to get in trouble, that they're eating, that they're being fed, and that, once again, that they're being loved on and that they're being, poured into essentially. So that's Youth Brigade as a whole.
So do you have to register them, or
Yes, ma'am.
like the parents would? Is it income based, or they pay?
No, so it's not. So it's completely free. It's
Boy,
completely.
shut up.
Yes, ma'am. So it's
You can
completely
help the babies free.
Yeah. Yep. So you can, it's funny that you mentioned that because yes, ma'am, last year was right around the time that you and I and Gabby were talking because we had our open house and we're getting ready to have our open house again on September 1st.
Wow.
So yeah, that's going to be an opportunity for families to come out and get registered, get more information about the programs, get a tour of the building and see the many different things that we have going on. We've made a lot of changes. Ms. Chacha, when you came last year, the HVAC system wasn't working. We had AC working now. We got AC working now. We done took up the carpet. You know, there's tile on the floor now. We have a brand new playground in the back. A lot of changes have happened in that short span. So,
and I saw, because I may be interested, where you guys have an event area or venue, because I saw the sign on the when I drove by one time. I was like, shut up, say it ain't so.
Yeah.
And with parking.
Yeah. So we flipped that. Yeah, we flipped that space that you were in. So it's now when we took out that carpet and then we fixed the lighting too. I mean, it just made the space appear a lot bigger. So it's a brand new look, and we've had a lot of different people rent it out. One of my favorite ones has been so far. We had some of our Mexican friends came and celebrated a baptism there. So when I tell you, Miss Chacha, it was almost 200 people inside the building and outside in the parking lot. They had a good old time. So yeah, we are renting out that space to folks who are looking for event space.
That's amazing. So do you furnish the tables and the chairs, or would somebody bring
real quick sponsor break? We got to pay the bills. Healthy Heart is a social media influencer, and everything is not negative on the social media platforms because we're about being positive, but we need your help. We need your donations, or would you consider placing an ad? Because everything we bring in, we want to give a percentage to a nonprofit each quarter, but most of all, we got to stay afloat. And we need to start generating something about this nonprofit, the Wesley House. It empowers folks. It's a nonprofit. You can get a text, whatever you need, but I'm telling you what I know. They educate, inspire, and I know people that will concur. They need our help. Don't wait until September the 15th for the Give for Good Day. Call them now, today, and see how you can help. But make sure you mark your calendar to go to the open house. Now we're back. Okay.
We provide the tables and the chairs. So we have a little bit over maybe 30 round tables that we can provide. And then we have over 170 chairs that, if you need that many, we have those as well. Obviously the decor and decorations that would be on you to bring, but yeah, we provide the tables and the chairs.
Man, you are doing the thing, like the young people said. You doing the thing, because that is wonderful to have a place that's friendly and been covered in prayer, especially if you're a Christian. That is so important because it's and because I looked on the Facebook or on something and I saw somebody's baby shower.
Yes,
and I was like, oh, now that is, you guys are well kept secret that we don't want to be a secret anymore, because you just do what you do. You don't flaunt what you do. You just do what you do. Then I saw something that about childcare, where it's income based or family children.
Yes, ma'am.
What's that about?
Yeah, so that's our West Kids. So that's early childhood development. So we actually do have daycare, and then we have Head Start. So it is income based, but the Head Start program, it is an enrollment process that you would have to go through Head Start itself. So I think you can go online and just type that in, and they'll give you the information and walk you through that enrollment process. But it is from ages 0 to 5. So obviously with the infants, that's the daycare portion of it. But then Head Start, it's a, let me make sure I say correctly, Regio learning system. And so if I said it right, but pretty much what that entails is that they help the kids learn based on how they want to learn. So if they are more, visual, then, we make sure that we cater to the visual learners by giving them the pictures, all the things that they need. If they're more hands-on, then, you give them the examples and tools to be able to, create the examples for them. And then if it's more, just they're good listeners and that's how they learn, then hey, by all means, we cater to that. But our teachers do a really great job of just loving on these kids, because it's not just with kids. I heard my pastor say at one point, you got to connect before you correct. So, so, with kids, you have to do a lot of connecting first before you can start, correcting, teaching, reshaping, how they see things, or even shaping. So our teachers do a great job of getting to their level and connecting with our kids.
Scott, let me tell you something about your last name that just makes me smile, because what you're doing, you're investing in people that are coming after you. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
I look at you, I don't know your grandmother personally,
Mm.
but I can get emotional if I want to, because I'm grown enough.
You can.
Oh boy, because we want so bad, we serve, I believe, even the more, because we want to be an example for our babies. And you are an offspring. And then when Judy reached out to you and she said, oh, I know his mama. She's good people. And I'm like, it's nothing like a good name. And here you are continuing to carry that name, that good name, boy. And that means so much. And I'm so grateful to God to know you, because it encourages folks, because you help me. You hear me? You Wesley House people. And then to look at your grandmama, and I don't live in Newburgh, but to see her carrying heart. And then, boy, I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. And God has set us up to be a blessing. Sometimes we do get fatigued. So I'm excited about your journey. I'm excited about Gabby. She's still doing the donuts, right?
She is, yes, ma'am.
Oh,
yes,
man.
ma'am.
You know, the Bible say, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And I just ask him to create in me a clean heart, oh God, and renew a right spirit within me. Now, I'm not no preacher or anything, but it's all about purifying your body, keeping your heart clean, keeping your heart pure. Thank you, God, for keeping a clean heart in me. I ask for your blessing. Amen.
So hold on, my brother. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. Sister. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. It matters how you end, but he's with you from the start. That's the only way to keep a healthy heart. Make my heart pure. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. He gon' be with you, won't deceive you, never leave you. It matters how you end, but he's with you from the start. That's the only way to keep a healthy heart. Make my heart pure.
Said I know God, he always able. King of kings, all-time creator. He can get you through whatever. He the only one can save you. Never leave you, never stray you. Always kept food on my table. Keep my heart pure, this my prayer. Lead me so I can obey you. It all start with what's around you, what you feed your mind and body. I watch the energy from people. Keep the devil far from around me. Conquer everything that's for you. Love yourself, know that you're special. Lean not on your understanding. Let faith lead you, never settle. God, he got a plan for you, but your heart has to be